Now people are beginning to...
Ladies and gentlemen, here is a great middleweight fighter of a quarter of a century ago, the former Oklahoma Cowboy, now residing in Syracuse, George Courtney.
Some of you older boxing fans
And ladies
remember
and
him.
gentlemen, here is the former middleweight champion of the world, our own Syracusan, Babe Briscoe.
You certainly remember the Babe.
And ladies and gentlemen, this boxing presentation is being presented by promoter Norm Rothschild and the Arena Boxing Club, Syracuse, New York. And the officials have been assigned here tonight by the New York State Athletic Commission are judges Ance Carroll, Frank Ford. The timekeeper is Mike Dempsey. Counting for the knockdowns at the bell is Joe Palmer. The referee from New York City, Al Burr. This is the feature event of the evening, 10 rounds. From Canastota, New York, wearing black trunks with white stripes and weighing 151, New York State's welterweight champion and the #1 contender for the world's welterweight title, Carmen Basilio. His opponent is from Paris, France. He's wearing white trunks with black stripes, and he weighs 155.5. The 8th ranking contender for the middleweight crown, Pierre Langlois. Open up.
Well, both you boys have boxed in New York before, and I presume you know the rules. I want you to watch your body blows. If you punch low, it may cost you a round. I want you to break clean and clinch it. When you tell you to step back, I want you both to step back yourselves. I don't want to pull you. You enter the knockdown, the man scoring the knockdown will go to a neutral corner. The man knocked down must take an 8 count. I want a good, clean fight, and good luck to both of you. Shake hands now.
You're following Carmen Basilio back to his corner. Carmen Basilio from Canastota, New York. He's in the black trunks, and he is the #1 welterweight contender. In the center of the ring, he's meeting with Pierre Langlois. Langlois in the white trunks. Langlois prefers that pronunciation of his name. Now, most of the experts for this second meeting between these two fellows claim that the weight advantage that Langlois enjoys for this evening's encounter will stand him in good stead in the later rounds. So it's interesting to note that Carmen Basilio, normally a legitimate welterweight, has come into the ring tonight weighing 151 pounds. He usually fights at around 147, 148 pounds. Langlois in the white trunks, with his back to you, weighs 155.5. In the white trunks is Pierre Langlois from Paris, France. In the black trunks is Carmen Basilio. This fight has really captured the fancy of boxing fans, and in this huge memorial auditorium in Syracuse, you'll find a capacity crowd this evening. That's somewhere upwards of 8,000 fans. been pretty much a battle of left hands so far. An interesting thing, though, is Basilio has thrown that roundhouse right a couple of times. There it goes again. He normally doesn't do that. His strong weapon, the one with which he knocked down Kid Gavilan, was a left hook, of course. And there's the bell for the end of round one, and we're going back into the corner now with Pierre Langlois. Let me tell you just a little bit about Pierre. He weighs 155.5 pounds. He's from Paris, France. As you know, his record is a good one. He is 162. He's lost 11, and he has 13 KOs to his credit. I was speaking a moment ago, as you take a look at Langlois in his corner there, surrounded by his French trainers and seconds, that this fight has created quite a lot of interest. Well, as a matter of fact, and as an interesting sidelight, you might get a kick out of knowing that one of the great successes on Broadway at the moment is The Girl in Pink Tights. And the whole cast, assembled backstage at the Mark Hellinger Theater, has set up a television for the express purpose of watching this fight tonight between Basilio and Langlois. There's the warning buzzer. 10 seconds until the start of round two. And we're in Syracuse, New York for your Saturday night fights. There's the bell, and it is round two. Something that some of you avid fight fans might be interested in knowing. You might remember the last time these two boys fought a draw. And then you might again remember that Basilio fought Scorticini on these Saturday night fights down in Miami, Florida. And in both those fights, the experts claim that Basilio started to tire in the latter rounds. Well, since that time, Basilio has admitted that that was true. And because of that, he had a tonsillectomy. And he claims now that without those tonsils, he's a much stronger boy. So it'll be interesting to see if in the latter rounds this evening, Basilio can maintain his front-running pace. Pierre Langlois, on the other hand, is considered one of the best conditioned athletes in the ring today. He's a solid 155.5 pounds, and he's a rugged, tough customer in the ring. Well, the thing that has impressed me so far in this fight is the fact that Basilio has thrown that right hand as often in the first round and a half as I have ever seen him throw it in 10 full rounds of boxing. Langlois has a cut over the left eyebrow. It is not a serious cut, but nevertheless, it is a cut. That was a rather unintentional blow, I think, as Al Burrell was parting the two boys. There's the bell for the end of round two. There's the bell and the start of round three. In contrast with their last meeting, where Langlois played the ropes to great advantage, this fight is being fought for the most part in the center of the ring. Of course, when you hear the roar of the crowd, you must remember the setting for this fight. Syracuse, New York. And Basilio, obviously, is their boy. His home in a suburb of Syracuse, Canastota. They call him, if you haven't heard it before, the Canastota Clouder. We're going to go to Basilio's corner right after this round. Maybe we can help you. And Burl, the referee, almost caught one right alongside the face then. This is a completely different fight than the first one. There's the bell for the end of round 3. When I say that this is a different fight, this boy Basilio is making Pierre Langlois fight his Basilio's style of fight tonight. Basilio moved around a great deal more in the first meeting of these two. And as I mentioned a moment ago, Langlois made it his style of fight and made Basilio fight him on the ropes. But this time, do you notice Basilio dropping his guard completely, dropping both hands, and standing almost flat-footed in the center of the ring, and he's making Langlois come to him. Not only that, while Langlois has his arm cocked to protect himself from the expected left hook that Carmen Basilio normally throws, and certainly threw a lot of in the last meeting between these two boys, Basilio's crossing him up by throwing that hard right. And so far, it's been a most effective weapon for Carmen Basilio. Man, this is going to be a scorcher tonight. There's the bell and the start of round 4. Basilio has a very small cut over his right eye, so now both boys are cut. Neither one of these cuts are dangerous, but they are cuts and should be mentioned as we go along. Langlois is starting to fight back now in those flurries by Basilio. Both boys starting to go for the body in this, the 4th round, a little more than in previous rounds. 15 seconds now till the end of round 4. There's the bell for the end of round 4. There's the bell and the start of round 5. Between rounds, the referee, Al Burrell, walked over to the corner of Pierre Langlois and warned him for hitting on the brakes. And some of the crowd, as you possibly heard in the background, were booing the referee for doing that. Others, of course, were applauding him. It depends entirely on which side of the fence you're on. There's a great deal of local feeling and quite a bit of local pride regarding Basilio up here. And there's a young fella, about 6 years old, a young boxing fan, sitting right behind our broadcasting position here tonight. And throughout the fight so far, he's been hollering, "Come on, you onion picker," to Carmen Basilio, because Carmen's home is Canastota, and of course there is a good deal of onion farming out that way. He's starting young. There is the first time tonight, I do believe, that Basilio has been backed into the ropes. Langlois in the white trunks is considered by the experts to be one of the most ring-wise of veterans in the ring today. Remember we mentioned a while ago that Basilio was standing and trying to almost stock still in the center of the ring and making Langlois come to him. And in the first 2 or 3 rounds, Langlois was trying to box around him. Now notice him. He's standing right there with Basilio now. Instead of trying to move around him, he'll stand right with him. Both of these boys equally fast. There's the bell for the end of round 5. You're back in the corner now of Pierre Langlois. A while ago, I was telling you, of course, that he's from Paris, France, and that he's won 62, lost 11, and has 13 KOs to his credit. Don't belittle that KO record of Pierre Langlois, because while he's not a one-punch knockout artist, he very definitely can hit. He has fought Rocky Castellani, Jesse Turner, Joe Maselli, Joe Giardello, and Gil Turner, among others. Langlois' weight, of course, tonight, 155.5 pounds. Here's the bell for the start of round 6. This fight means a lot to both of these boys. Although Basilio is fighting out of his weight class, actually, and taking on the middleweight, still in all, a fellow who is ranked number 1 as a welter doesn't like to lose to anybody, whether it be in his class or out of his class, as far as weight is concerned. On the other hand, Pierre Langlois is ranked right up there in the first 10 of the middleweights. And he, of course, wouldn't like it to be said that a man underneath his weight class whipped him. Their last fight was a scorching draw. This fight is equally good, but it is a completely different bout than the last one. Mostly it is that because Basilio simply refuses, for the most part, to go to the ropes. There he is out in the center of the ring again, and that's where he's been for most of the some 6.5 rounds that we've seen here in Syracuse tonight. There's a strong right hand to the body of Langlois. There's the bell, the end of round 6. There's the bell, and it's the start of round number 7 of a 10-round goal between number 1 welterweight contender Carmen Basilio from Canastota, New York, and the Black Trunks, Pierre Langlois, number 8 middleweight, weighing 155.5 pounds tonight in the White Trunks. Only in the interest of completely fair reporting do I say that Pierre Langlois from Paris has been warned repeatedly in the first 6 rounds for tactics that he, the referee, Al Burrell, considers foul. Hitting on the break has been noticed 2 or 3 times. Elbows have been in there every now and again. Open hand hitting has been noticed once in a while, too. Now, those are observations of Al Burrell. I make no personal comment about it at all, not to take a side either way. But it's a statement of fact that Al Burrell has gone to the corner several times during this fight. The corner of Langlois. Langlois, after that last exchange, has a very bad cut on his left eye. This cut is a very bad one, and there's the bell that ends round 7. You're looking into the corner of Carmen Basilio now. Carmen tagged Pierre Langlois a couple of times and hard in that last round. And Langlois has a very bad cut on his left eye. And his seconds worked furiously on him in the corner. That one missed. I've never seen Basilio fight like this before. And with me, you have seen him on these Saturday night fights at least 5 or 6 times. But I have never seen him stand so flat-footed in the center of the ring and make a man come to him like that. I have never seen him hold his hands down at his sides as he's doing right now before. And yet, for some peculiar reason, it's been a very effective style for him tonight against this smart and very clever Pierre Langlois from Paris, France. Langlois' eye that was cut in the 7th round has stopped bleeding. The crouch that Basilio has employed tonight has no question spoiled the very clever infighting for which Langlois is justifiably famous. He's very good on the inside. As I told you earlier, not a true KO artist in the sense of a one punch, but he very definitely is dangerous, particularly on the side. He hits short but very effectively to the body. Basilio's fighting style tonight, though, has prevented that from being very effective. There it is again, that crouch. Another warning by Burrow. There's the bell for the end of round 8. There's the bell for the start of round 9. And I must tell you that the referee, Al Burrell, took away the last round from Pierre Langlois. Awarded it, of course, to Carmen Basilio, and he did so on the basis of what he termed fouling. It looked fairly obvious. You saw the same thing that I did. It looked as though it could have been hitting on the break. However, of course, Burrell did not have time to define that, but he just said simply it was a foul after repeated warning. So take away the 8th round from Pierre Langlois from France. The cut on Langlois' eye was patched up effectively. It was cut in the 7th round, did not bleed in the 8th, and is still okay in this, the 9th round. There's the second time tonight. I honestly believe that's only the second time that Basilio has been on the ropes. That's the thing he was trying to stay away from. You can see the Frenchman, Pierre Langlois, in the white trunks, now trying to straighten up Basilio in that crouch of his that he, Basilio, has used effectively tonight. Langlois is trying to straighten him up by use of uppercutting. Basilio seems to be tiring a little bit. But it's only natural and normal that both of them should be tired. They have both taken punishment, and they have both fought a real good, hard fight tonight. There's the bell for the end of round 9. Well, somewhere along the line, you must give credit to Carmen Basilio. I'm not taking anything away from the Frenchman now, but we're in Basilio's corner, so let's talk about him. For his improved way of trying to fight Pierre Langlois. Langlois, of course, is a middleweight out of the normal weight class in which Basilio would usually fight. And in the last fight, Basilio and Langlois actually fought a draw as far as the official decision was concerned. But it was, in all fairness, I'm sure everybody would agree, Langlois who controlled the style of fight. But this evening, I think it can be safely said that Basilio has made Langlois fight his, Basilio's, style of fight. Now, whether it's been effective from the standpoint of actually winning for him or not, we've got to wait and see. That's for the judges and the referee. Here's the bell, and that, of course, is the touching of gloves for the 10th and final round, and it's been a good one. You see Basilio look at the referee then? got just about a minute left in round number 10. About 30 seconds left. 15 seconds now. The crowd has loved this one. There's the bell for the end of round 10. Let's go down to ringside now and get the official decision. Well, this was a real crackerjack tonight. You can see the ring announcer is still going around to the judges and collecting their slips. Give Langlois credit tonight where credit is due. He fought a smart and a very game fight. And his was the problem tonight to solve Basilio's style of fighting, where in the first fight it was Basilio's problem to solve Langlois' style. Langlois was cut in the 7th round on the eye, a bad cut. The first cut occurred on his right eye in the very first round. Basilio's left eyebrow was cut in the 2nd round. The 8th round was taken away from Langlois. Don't forget that.
Referee Al Pearl penalized Langlois the 8th round for hitting on the break. Judge Ernst Kyle scores it 5-4-1 Basilio. Referee Al Pearl 6-3-1 Basilio. Judge Frank Forbes scores it 5.